Hello, hi, it's me, Cheyenne. Do you remember me? I'm here making a video about Dazzle Dry today. I make videos about nails and sometimes lash lifts and pedicures because that's what I do in my salon and I enjoy making them for you, so continue watching if you'd like to watch this Dazzle Dry service. Alright, so starting off I'm removing the polish, and if you remove polish, this is a really good tip that I've gotten from a channel called The Salon Life. You soak the cotton ball that you've cut into 4 and then you press it onto the nail and leave it there for probably maybe half a minute, and then you wipe down and it removes the polish very quickly, and it also doesn't damage the nail because you're not scrubbing it continuously, and it creates less of a mess if you're removing a colored polish like red or purple in this case. Today I'm using an orange wood stick to gently push up the cuticle area to expose any cuticle on the nail plate that I will later remove with an e-file and a cuticle bit. You can also use a cuticle pusher, it just depends on your preference. A wooden stick's pretty gentle, so maybe start with that if you're looking to do your own nails. So I'm going to be trimming these nails. I'm going to check on the underside to make sure that I don't cut into the hyponychium, and then I'm using a ceramic bit and I'm going to be cutting the nail down with this because it's much quicker. If you don't work in a salon and you're using a polish and you want to do your nails, you can use a nail file at this point and just file your nails to the desired shape. You could also use clippers, but I don't really like clippers. I use them sometimes, but most of the time I like using an e-file to cut down length. I think it's a lot faster and it is my preference. I'm using this bit at a medium speed because I've used an e-file for a very long time and I don't like it when e-files skip or kick back, so I'm probably using it around 10,000 to 15,000 RPM. And I really like the ceramic bit because sometimes I find that mandrels, they have a little bit of vibration to them, and when I use a ceramic bit I don't get any vibration, and it's also really good at cutting natural nails. I've been using diamond files for a little while now. I do really like them for shaping the nails. And for this service, I'm just rounding out the free edge to make sure that they look nice and close to what the nail bed shape is. So I'm rounding the outer corners into the center line of the nail and just making sure they're a nice round shape. Sometimes when I'm shaping a nail, I like to imagine there's a line drawn down the center and I'm always shaping towards that line, and that helps me get an even shape. I'm going to use this little buffer block that's for natural nails. It's probably a 240 grit, and I'm just taking the skirt of the free edge off that kind of hides underneath the natural nail so it doesn't stick to the polish and create some sort of peeling. Even with shorter nails, I always like to check from this angle. This is the angle that your client is always going to see their nails. And then I'm going to do a little bit of shaping on this side to make sure that they're all even. And then I'll flip around again and start my service. So for the past couple of months since this serum came out, I've been testing OPI repair mode on my clients. I've been putting it underneath each service just to see how their nails come back. And for the most part, I believe that this serum is helping sort of, I would say, glue together the bonds within the first layer of the nails. I know it says that it claims for keratin repair. I suppose that's what gluing is. And it's not like a really sticky glue that you would feel. It absorbs into the nail plate and just makes things a little bit more tighter inside, if that makes sense. I've also been using stone bits a lot more. I find these to be a little bit less aggressive on the nail plate surface. Even if you're being very careful, I sometimes find that the diamond bits can rough up the client's nail a little bit more than you'd like, and if you're not paying attention and being careful, you can definitely do some damage with them. And I'm just using this bit how you would use a unicorn bit. I'm going from the right hand side to the left hand side, and then afterwards I'll probably go in reverse to refine that right hand side, just because I don't find that if I go in one direction that everything is completely smooth. This is also really good for any callous skin. Of course, your client probably needs to start a nail care routine after they see you to alleviate and repair the skin, but it's nice to be able to help someone go into the right direction, and that's why I like to use exfoliating bits, because I know that once my client starts their nail care routine, that they'll be able to see a little bit better results because I've helped smooth down and correct some of the surface skin dryness. And if you didn't know, I make a hand care line at nailfriendnails.com. It's only available for the US and Canada right now because there are cosmetic restrictions in labeling and ingredients. My ingredients are safe for Europe, however, I don't have the time to be able to begin the labeling process for anywhere outside of North America. So if you're in North America, it's a very good skincare line. My clients swear by it. I sell quite a bit whenever I formulate hand cream, so check it out if you are in North America. Next, I just go around the cuticle area and I gently buff the nails. I don't buff the rest of the surface of the nail because I don't want to create extra weakness in the nail, just the area that's new grow out. And then I'm going to wipe the surface and prepare it for IBX. I use IBX a lot in my salon. I use it for toenails, I use it for fingernails, I use it for gel, I use it for Dazzle Dry. It's an all-around really good repairing product and it's pretty strong. It's professional, so if you're not a professional, I don't think that you can buy this. And it's best to go to a nail tech who is trained in this service and they can help you out with getting this nail strengthener. It's really good for holding together surface damage, and it can help grow out peeling nails depending on why the nails are peeling. And this is the heat source that I'm using currently. I usually use a red light, but for a month I was using this weird black light. It works fine. So this is not something that I do regularly, but I'm using a silicone bit to smooth down the edge of these nails. It's a very gentle bit, so it doesn't take anything off. I just wanted to see if maybe applying some pressure and smoothing it would help these nails later on. Okay, so first step of Dazzle Dry is using their prep solution. You should use their prep solution when you're doing your nails. You need to use the entire system. It's not like regular polish where you could like mix and match if you really want to. You need to use their entire system or it doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Whether you're doing this on yourself, a friend, or your client, just like any other nail service, you want to make sure you really scrub the nail plate and make sure there is no excess oil on it. Step 2 of the system is the base coat. So I've warmed up the base coat so it's a clear liquid and now I'm applying it to the natural nail. It's very watery, so you want to make sure you're being very careful with it. By the time I'm done the first hand and working on the second hand, that first hand will be dry. It's actually faster than a gel manicure, which is pretty amazing when you're doing a salon service. I apply 2 layers of base coat to fingernails and 1 coat of base coat to toenails. You know, not everybody is going to have perfect results with Dazzle Dry, just like not everybody is going to have perfect results with a gel manicure. A lot of times people don't realize that the nail plate condition, and I'm talking about clients, not service providers, because we already know this. The condition of your nail plate really factors in for how long something will last or look good. And if the product is formulated properly or like within best practices, meaning it's not containing a buttload of HEMA, sorry, I had to say it, the service is going to last as long as your nails are healthy. And if they're not, then you really do need to start thinking about taking care of your nails. Okay, I'll continue on talking about that, but let's just talk about what I'm doing on screen. So this is the color Truth, and I'm working on the first layer of color. For me, I kind of have a hard time applying sheer colors, but I think with practice I'll get better. I feel like my application's like slightly streaky, but I'm going to put 3 layers of this color on. And you might think like, wow, 3 layers of polish, that's going to take like an hour to dry. No, it literally dries within minutes, and it's amazing. It really is. Like, I'm too picky of a person to tell you that something is really, really good if it's not really good, so hee hee. Okay, so back to nail plate. So I've had some clients come in with some peeling and, at first they don't want to follow recommendations, but then they do and their nails become healthy and the skin around their nails has less hangnails and it works out great. And I've also had some clients that maybe don't want to follow recommendations or they're just too busy for hand and nail care, and that's fine, but I definitely don't feel like my services are something that work for people who don't feel that those things are necessary. Like, it is really important to start a routine because it really helps. So things like keeping your hands in a lot of water and then not putting cuticle oil on immediately after, or not rehydrating your hand with a hand cream. The list goes on. Those things really do factor in the condition of your nails and how long something will last on your nail. Even with gel, it can break the bond between your natural nail and the product. So it's very important to think about your nail care when you are going to see a nail tech. And sometimes mistakes happen as a service provider. You may be using something you're not completely comfortable with or that you're just learning about, and stuff happens. I recently had a client who got some cracking within their Dazzle Dry, but they were kind of over it because they felt like we had tried so many things and they did not come back, which is okay, but I did feel bad because I know that I am a very, caring service provider and would like things to work for people, but I also know I may not work for everybody, and I'm just getting through a pretty big rough patch in my life. I'm doing much better, but sometimes stuff doesn't work out. So the takeaway from that story is, clients, take care of your nails, and service providers, it's okay to mess up sometimes, and we're not all perfect and we're not all for everyone, but we're just trying our best. If you're watching closely to the video, I'm using Wink Wink. It's kind of hard to see in this video. Neither of my cameras really pick up the sparkles, but I'm going to insert a really nice sort of like macro lens shot of this service that was really popular on Instagram. And then you'll be able to kind of see what it looks like, but imagine it being more greeny, shimmery, sort of duochrome style. Alright, we're on to top coat. So the top coat sets pretty quickly, probably within 1 minute, and then you can apply cuticle oil and hand cream. Set a timer for 5 minutes just to make sure everything is dry before your client leaves, and then you're good to go. And with Dazzle Dry, it's shorter service time in between. Probably 2 weeks is the maximum, and your client can either remove at home or you can remove it for them. And I mean, the product does last longer than 2 weeks sometimes, but there's nuances in nail care, and I just personally like the idea of 2 weeks because we'll talk about it in another video some other time if you ask me. Thank you so much for watching this if you're still watching. Let me know what you guys are interested in, if you've tried Dazzle Dry, if you want to try Dazzle Dry, if you're coming in for a service. I appreciate you guys watching these videos. Give it a like if you like it. That also really helps me out, and it's kind of nice to know that people like watching these videos, and a physical form of that is just liking it. So I'm just trying to get back into a routine of creating videos. I have been working a lot and don't have a lot of time for editing, but I'm gonna keep on trying because this brings me a lot of joy, and I hope it brings you joy too. Have a good day. Here is the final reveal. Take care, and I'll see you next time.